There is a new report out that claims Canada has been underestimating carbon emissions that this country produces, specifically that the Canadian forestry sector produces. Inayat Singh is with us live this morning to take a look at the key findings in this report. Inayat.
Hi. The main issues being raised by the report are accounting problems related to how Canada calculates emissions from its forestry sector. And the report is claiming that's underestimating the emissions from the sector by about 80 megatons of CO2 equivalent. That's about 10% of Canada's total emissions. So what the main disagreement here is over how Canada defines managed forests. Like other countries under international guidelines, Canada only has to report emissions from forests that are being used for human activity, so logging, for example. But the report says that Canada's definition of these managed forests is overly broad. It includes areas that are not being logged, includes older trees, and Canada is counting the carbon that is being sucked in from the atmosphere by these trees. That's offsetting the carbon that's being emitted by the forest sector and leading to a calculation that's showing the forest sector as very low emissions. On top of that, certain major wildfires on these lands are being excluded from the calculation. I spoke with Michael Polanyi, who's a co-author of this report at Nature Canada. Here's what he had to say.
We have very serious concerns with the portrayal of the forest sector and the logging industry as being low carbon or carbon neutral.
So the concerns, I mean, maybe people probably haven't thought on this. How does Canada calculate its forest emissions, Inayat?
Well, it's very complex. The forest sector is huge. It's all across the country. And Natural Resources Canada uses a complex computer model to calculate the emissions from this sector. This computer model is used in other countries as well. And to be clear, Canada seems to be following all the rules that are set down by the UN. I spoke with Kate Lindsay, who heads the sustainability work at the Forest Products Association of Canada. That's the industry group, and they defended the way Canada calculates its emissions. Here's what she had to say.
Just from someone who's been observing the evolution of IPCC reporting, the Canadian model around forest carbon is well regarded as one of the best, if not the best model globally.
What does the report recommend, though, Inayat, in terms of fixing the issues?
Well, mainly the report recommends fixing these loopholes that it has identified so that Canada can, be more transparent about the full climate impact of its forest sector. They're also suggesting improving the models that are used to calculate these emissions with more on-site measurement that will take away some of the uncertainties in these calculations. And they're recommending more support and funding for Indigenous-led forest conservation, which they think will better protect our forests.
Really appreciate the reporting, Inayat. Thank you very much. Inayat Singh is live in Toronto